Now that must have hurt. Oh! 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 Oh!
with the lightsaber in hand, as I knew you would.
The Force has served you well.
You took a great risk in acquiring the artifact. You used your mind and your power. No peaceful meditation, no pacifism. Sometimes you must fight in order to achieve. This gives you your passion. This makes you stronger. This is what makes you superior. That is the lesson we teach with that part of the final test. Do you understand? If you came to the Academy, you must have felt the stirrings within you that cry out for the freedom of the dark side, that cry out for release. I can only show you the path that will lead to power and superiority. You have followed it this far. You must decide if you are capable of continuing. True, but most would say they fight only when they must, or not at all. We are the ones who know that struggle is what makes us superior. Good. The last part of your test will now commence. Here, you will learn the lesson of competition. All life must compete in order to flourish. Such is the natural way of the universe. To stand still is to know death. One must always be moving forward. So it is the same amongst the Sith. Compete or die. Mercy is irrelevant. So it behooves you in this final test to strike down one you are familiar with, for no other reason than to prove you are superior and without mercy. Normally, this would be against another student. You, however, get a special treat. You will fight Euthura here, my own apprentice.
You talk too much, old fool.
So, you know, do you? Well, it makes no difference. You have become too ambitious, Euthura. It is time for you to die.
No, it is time for you to die, Master. My pupil stands with me.
Sadly, Euthura, it is you who are mistaken. Your pupil is more ambitious than you realize. Isn't that so, young one?
Do you hear that, my master? That is the sound of a new leader rising to replace you.
So the time has come, has it? I will... No. My strength leaves me.
You are weak, KOTOR. And the Force has abandoned you. We have made sure of it. Now that must have and a new order is brought to the Academy. Excellent. Unfortunately for you, I don't intend to share power. It's time for you to die. As if I would ever believe that. Defend yourself if you dare. Now that must have hurt. Now that must have hurt. Now that must have hurt. Stop. I yield. You are too strong for me. Gather your hatred and strike me down if that is your will. As I thought, you are no Sith. A real Sith would have no hesitation in striking me down. Then I hope you got what you came to the Academy for, whatever that was. I was right the first time back at the cantina, wasn't I? There is something strange about you. More so than I even suspected. Your path leads elsewhere to a destiny I can only guess at. Whatever it is does not involve joining the Sith. Not yet, at least. Go then. Go and leave here. I'll not stop you.
Master Euthura has taken over the Academy. Everyone's talking about it. I guess you finally got rid of Euthura.
One of the Sith from the Academy, yes? Would you happen to be looking for new prospects?
How may I be of what? After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her. When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day. She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris. They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians. The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream. I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine. We both know what has happened since then. I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
What the hell is your kind doing here? Bad enough I have to deal with all these other idiots, but now there's a stinking KOTOR on this world too?
I have as much right to be here as you do, sir.
Yeah, do like the Jedi tell you and back off. Your people are pathetic. There's no wonder we crushed your world so easily.
What? What do you know about my world?
I know enough to... Hey, wait a minute. You look familiar somehow.
What? You?
This doesn't concern you, Jedi trash. Now where could I have... No, he's dead. She likely is too.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I was wrong. Still, I think a specimen like you would be a nice addition to my collection. So, what would it take, Jedi, for you to sell your pet here to me? Now, don't be so selfish. We both know KOTOR aren't real people anyway. The females make amusing pets, but the males should be put down like the animals they are. I remember one time on Taris.
What? What did you say? What did you do on Taris, you scum?
Put one of you down like the animals you are. So easy. Then I saw one of the females on the auction block. But those darn Jedi.
It was you.
What? Me? Oh, now I recognize where I've seen that face before. You were the little KOTOR I was going to purchase. But those Jedi came and stole my pet away from me. When I was fighting with the Mandalorians against the KOTOR, I developed an appreciation for these creatures. They make excellent servants if properly trained. You Jedi act all prim and proper, but inside you must feel the same way I do about the lesser, non-human species. The Sith at least let their feelings show on the outside.
Your homeworld.
Come now. Will you let your pet go? I'm sure we can come up with a price we both think is fair.
And I will see you dead for what you have done to my people.
Hold on a second. Don't be hasty.
Yes, we will. No. I must not fall prey to the dark side again. My lust for vengeance must be curbed.
Yes. Say no to the dark side, but I will have you yet. Ha!
My KOTOR blood seethes at the thought of that man still running free. I cannot stand still while I think about it, but I will not give in to the dark side either. He will pay for his crimes, though. He will most likely be following us. Me. If we could find him first, then he may not be able to set in motion whatever he has in store for us.
How can I help? Can I What happened? What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us on the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Saul Karrath's vessel. My old mentor. Admiral Karrath taught me everything I know about being a soldier. He was a legend in the Republic fleet, and a hero to me until he betrayed us. When the Sith attacked my homeworld, the Leviathan, which is Saul Karrath's flagship, was at the head of the fleet. My family was destroyed that day, and my wife died in the Sith bombardment.
Talk of an escape is somewhat premature, don't you think? We don't even have a plan to get out of this mess yet.
I'll admit, it won't be easy. Saul's no fool, and he won't underestimate us either. We count on plenty of guards watching every move we make.
Maybe Admiral Kareth doesn't know how many of us there are on board. We all have special talents. Talents we could exploit so that one of us could stage a rescue. We just have to figure out who has the best chance to avoid capture so they can come and rescue us later. It's a long shot, but it's our only hope. The Admiral will be watching the three of us far too closely for any plot involving you, me, or Karth to succeed. It's going to be up to one of the others to get us out of this.
Well, if we're gonna pick someone to save our skins, we better do it quick. In another minute, we're gonna have Sith troops marching up our loading ramp.
Is that wise? We need someone inconspicuous for this task, and Wookiees tend to draw a lot of attention, especially from arresting troops. Maybe you should go with someone else.
Maybe I can goad the guards into making a mistake. If I get them mad enough, they might put me in a separate cell to punish me. With them focusing so much on you three, I might be able to sneak out of my cell and come rescue the rest of you. It's a risk we have to take, Big Z. I can slice my way free of any security cell. Don't worry, I can pull this off. I won't let you down. You'll see.
Hold on, they're dragging us into the docking bridge.
Bastila, Karth, and the crew have been taken prisoner as you ordered, Commander.
Excellent. Have you searched the ship thoroughly? Admiral Kareth warned me to be on alert for any kind of treachery.
We found a young Twi'lek in the back. She's got quite the mouth on her. She swore at me and spit on my uniform. She tried to bite me through my armor, and you should hear what she said about my mother. Admiral Kareth needs to teach her the proper respect for the Sith.
The Admiral doesn't have time to bother with some Twi'lek girl. Take her away to solitary confinement. I'll leave it up to you to teach her the proper respect for the Sith.
Karth, it has been far too long since we last spoke. I see the recent months have not been kind in your case. I barely recognized you.
But I recognize you, Saul. I see your face every night, even as I promise myself I will kill you for what you did to my homeworld.
Did you learn nothing in your time under me? As a soldier, you should understand that casualties were unavoidable. This was an act of war.
It was a cowardly act of betrayal. Your fleet bombed a civilian target into oblivion without warning or provocation, and the blood of those innocent people is on your hands.
In war, even the innocent must die. The Sith would not accept me until I proved I had truly turned my back on the Republic by bombing the planet.
My wife died in that attack, Saul. And for that, I swear I'll kill you.
You used to be a man of action, not of empty words. Cling to your lust for revenge if you must, but spare me your tired threats. I've heard them all before. You're an insignificant part of these events anyway. Lord Malak is far more interested in your Jedi companions. He has great plans for them.
We will never serve Malak or the dark side. The Sith will be destroyed, Admiral Kareth, as will you if you don't turn away from this path.
Your words are brave, Bastila, but the lure of the dark side is hard to resist. Or so I've been told. I wonder if your companion is as devoted to the light as you are. You're defiant. I'm certain Malak will find your loyalty to the Jedi amusing. The Dark Lord would probably reward me if I just killed you once and for all, but he may want to question you given the trouble you've caused him and the history between you. The Dark Lord will no doubt torture you for information and for his own twisted pleasure. Eventually, you will tell him everything. The Sith can be very persuasive. However, Lord Malak is in another sector. It may be some time before he arrives, so I suppose I will have to fill in for him until then. Activate the torture fields. Enough. I don't want them to pass out before I question them. Malak will appreciate any information I can give him when he arrives.
Don't waste your breath, Saul. We won't answer any of your questions.
I'm sure you won't. However, we both know your friend's loyalties have proven in the past to be somewhat flexible. I am interrogating you, not the other way around. You will answer questions, not ask them. It is time to put your loyalty to the test. I doubt torturing you will gain me your true cooperation. Your will is too strong to be broken that way. However, even the strongest of heroes has trouble watching those they care about suffering. The interrogation will begin now. Each time you refuse to answer or give me a false answer, Karth will suffer.
My pain is meaningless. Tell him nothing.
I tire of these games. Now I want answers. On what planet is the Jedi Academy at which you were trained? Alderaan is nothing but a planet of artisans and philosophers. There is no training academy there. You must think this is a game. Very well, this is the price of your resistance.
Ah!
Enough! You see what happens when you try to defy me. This first question was a test. Obviously, Malak knew the Academy was on Dantooine, and it has since been destroyed by our fleet. Dantooine is an empty graveyard now. Nothing is there but a smoking ruin and the charred remains of your former masters. A brave front, but your feigned indifference does not fool me. Your masters are eradicated, along with any hope of someone rescuing you. Now, tell me your mission. How were the Jedi planning on using you to stop Lord Malak and our Sith Armada?
Why? Why are you telling him this?
You should be grateful, Bastila. He is sparing you agony beyond comprehension.
Words that betray the Jedi Order bring me more pain than any torture ever could.
Tell me, how did you find out about the Starforge?
No. How could you betray the Republic like this?
I find your willingness to cooperate pleasing, though it seems your answers are quite upsetting to Karth. Not to worry. We are almost finished here. The information you have given me has been most useful, but I fear our session is over. Lord Malak will want to continue with this line of questioning himself. I will leave you here in your cell with a small taste of the horrors you will suffer when Lord Malak arrives.
Don't try to move too quickly. You might not be fully recovered yet. Admiral Karath had his guards continue to torture you even after you passed out.
They tortured all of us, though you got the worst of it by far. Saul wanted them to make us suffer. He's become some sort of sadistic monster.
The dark side has perverted him, Karth. Once you start down the tainted path, it leads you ever further into the depths of evil. I fear he is forever lost.
This is not a matter to joke about. If there is one thing we can learn from Saul, it's how the power of the dark side can corrupt even the bravest of heroes.
I'm sorry, forgive me. Snapping at you like that won't help our situation. I suppose I'm taking the news of Dantooine's destruction quite hard. First Tara's, now the Academy.
Is there no end to the killing?
I'd like to believe that Saul was lying to us. But even as he said the words, I knew they were true. The Academy is gone. We should have felt a disturbance in the Force when the attack came. The fact that we did not is a bad sign. I fear the dark side is growing stronger, casting shadows our vision cannot pierce. I can only hope that some of the Jedi escaped. Rook, Endar, Zar. I cannot imagine all of them being gone. In any case, we've lost our one place of refuge in the galaxy.
None of this will matter if we don't get out of this prison before Saul gets back. Saul mentioned that Lord Malak was on his way. I think the Admiral left to prepare for his arrival and to report the results of our interrogation.
I only wish you'd been able to resist the Admiral's questioning. I hope the information you revealed does not bring the entire galaxy under the dominion of the Sith. I appreciate your feelings for Karth, but you can't let your feelings override your judgment. Remember the Jedi Code. There is no emotion, there is peace. Your efforts were well-intentioned, but poorly thought out. Saul tortured us all anyway. There is too much at stake to let reckless passion rule our actions. I know if I'd been in that position, I would not have betrayed the Order and the Republic.
Stop it, both of you. Bastila, you can't honestly say how you would have reacted in that situation. Nobody can. Besides, Saul already had all the information, I could tell. The interrogation was a sham. Saul was toying with us. He didn't care what we told him. I think it was just an excuse to torture us before Malik arrived.
Did you feel that? A disturbance in the Force. The Admiral has sent his message. The Dark Lord knows we're here now. Malik is coming.
Well, then we better hope Mission busts us out of here before he arrives.
Come on, girlie. Into the cell. Let's go. I haven't got all day to waste on you. I need to get back to my post.
Quit crowding me. Sheesh. I've met Gamorreans who didn't smell as bad as you said.
You think you're pretty funny, don't you? But you're only making things worse for yourself.
How come every time you open your mouth to talk, the scent of rancor dung comes out?
Maybe a little time in solitary confinement will teach you the proper respect for the Sith. Now get into that cell.
Who designed those Sith uniforms anyway? A blind Rhodian with a sick sense of humor?
Oh, that's funny. You should tell that one to the torturer when he comes to deal with you.
What? You're going to torture me?
No snappy comeback this time. The thought of torture scares you, Well, it should. The Sith have ways to inflict pain you can't even imagine. It may be a few hours before your torture begins. We're busy interrogating your friends right now. Hey, I know. You could use this time to think up witty ways to beg for mercy.
Or I could use the key card I lifted from your pocket to slice into the security panel and get myself out of this cell. Piece of cake. I wonder when people will stop underestimating me.